Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Burning Wheel. Hello, I am your GM and host, Daniel, and I am joined today by everyone. Hi, everyone. What's up?
Hi, Danny.
Hello, Daniel. We aim to play some Burning Wheel tonight. I think is the plan, anyway.
We hear Rasmus arriving in the last second, tires screeching as he jumps into the call.
I thought it was more like sounded like he's trying to do a stereotypical Native American holler.
Oh my!
Huh.
Not going there.
No,
I was
not.
just trying to make a sound crest.
Mm-hmm. I can't help it.
I think you succeeded in making a sound.
Whichever way it happened, either the spirit of Henry Ford or Wendigo got offended.
Yep.
Then let them come and strike me down once this session is over, and you can write me a nice eulogy.
Sounds
As
good.
it is, I think. Yeah.
All right, so so welcome to the game, everyone. Let's talk shop. Let's talk about what happened last time. Let's talk about your characters, and let's get into things. So, someone give me a rundown on what happened last time, because you all achieved a goal of yours last time.
We got shit done.
It's true.
We shat all over the place.
No. We raided the warehouse containing very precious and valuable nylon cloth, guarded by mercenaries belonging to the Ruby Razor Company. There was much fighting. There was a big magical conflagration because we were desperate, as we often are. Some of the members of the group got away, which will spell certain trouble for us in the future.
We'll be fine.
Wish I shared your optimism. And we did kind of set the warehouse on fire. But due to some luck with the dice, we were able to successfully take out all of the shipment of cloth from inside the warehouse before the fire got to it. I believe one of us sustained a minor wound.
That's true.
I'm fine. I just had to be carried out.
So, you guys who have minor wounds, when we jump into this game, some time will have passed where you have had the opportunity to fence this stuff, or at least start fencing the stuff. You will have found a fence to sell the cloth for you, thereby granting you the fund we talked about last time.
Yes.
And because that's the case, you are past your light wound, so all of you are perfectly healthy.
Well, obviously, you should take a page from Shahaji's book and just not get injured.
What?
Makes note.
What? Why should I take a page from his book?
It's a saying. You should do like him and not get injured at all.
You should take a
begin
spell
with.
from his
Fun in
wheel.
that? But what's the fun in that?
Well said, AJ. Well said indeed. So, but Chris, you
At
absolutely
least I
correct.
don't light the entire place on fire.
Last time, correct. You found out like that. You successfully executed your plan. There was a complication last time. Two complications, I should say. One you've mentioned already, the magical conflagration. You accidentally lit the warehouse on fire and just barely managed to escape with the resources that you had your eyes set upon.
I mean, in the end, we got the stuff and we found an efficient way to cover our tracks.
Cover our tracks and lighting the bat signal. Like there's, the.
No, I mean,
it's a minor difference.
Shh, Danny, you'll be okay. Shh.
So, but that's only one thing, right? So before you engaged, some of you made a you collaborated, I believe, to make a knowledge check, a wise test regarding the people who are guarding the place. You found out that they belong to the Ruby Razor Company, and that they.
If I may interject, I found out the others failed.
That's probably
I
true.
didn't even try. Come on.
So yeah. Anyway, so at least one of you succeeded on that test, and you found out that, aside from the fact that Ruby Razor Company is a pretty big and widespread mercenary company, who opens their venue to not only like professional soldiers but to like ex-low lives, who wants to join in for steady pay and risking their neck in the name of others. You found out that they deal. They have like a pretty severe policy when it comes to like losing members of their own rank. So you set about doing this without leaving any witnesses. Unfortunately, you did not succeed.
No.
And quite a few of I think 2 people got away from this from the fight without got away to live another day and to report on what they were doing. So that's a thing that happened, and that's essentially what happened last time. So there will have been some time there will have been some happenings like in between this session and last session, as I mentioned, wherein you would have time to like get a fence, and we will be rejoining you like a few days later. But before we do that, let's talk about your characters. So let's start at the top as we do. Minnow, why don't you tell us something about your beliefs, instincts, and traits?
Well, I actually changed 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because I have an idea of what to do with my brother, but that's not a belief. It's my... Why am I looking at Jiaoji's? I were about to read aloud Jiaoji's. I thought it looked weird. I thought it looked weird. I do not want to be a big and all-powerful Trixie. I mean, I don't need that.
You're twins, right? You're so similar. Of course you looked at the wrong character sheet. It's bound to happen.
Well, the biggest issue was there was a big lack of sex.
Yeah, that would give it away.
That doesn't really meant, that's not for Minnow.
I looked at my character sheet and it was just really closeted and nerdy for some reason, so I decided to look at the right one.
That didn't fly. Okay, I changed 2 beliefs.
Let's hear it.
First belief is, the sassy and sexy lady I met some years ago are in town. I should seek her out for another round. Right,
so this is a belief about your relationship?
Yep. The baby mama I don't know is a baby mama.
Yeah, so you so this is the wife of the person whose warehouse you burned down.
Yes.
But they weren't there, so they might not know yet.
No, of course not. I'm not saying that. I'm just establishing like that this is what's happening. Cool.
Yeah.
I dig it. And what's
a refugee and someone else. Sure, there's a lot of refugees. Start looking.
Yep.
And I need to secure a position and prove invaluable to Nikki. And yes, I'm gonna call him Nikki.
Yeah, that's fine.
Stealing the cloth shipment was exciting and a rush. And finding the next big scar to sell on would give us a huge edge. I should go around town. I have to scroll down now. This is the first time I've actually made a long belief.
You can pull the arrows by the edge.
Yeah, but mine, roll 20 and me. I should find a suitable target. I'll of course do that. Do what I do best and go through the rich ladies. They have a tendency to want adventure and talk a lot.
Cool. So finding a new score that you can go out and have a new rush with. And doing so through the medium of the ladies. Cool.
Yes.
What's your third belief?
I need to find out what happened to the product, so I'll need an alchemical kit. I need to eat, and Nico needs money to give me that.
Cool. So this is your old belief from session 2, I think. Right?
Yeah.
About,
I don't see this actually changing before I get the kit, so I can find out what the hell happened. But I can work towards it by asking around.
Cool. So yeah, definitely. I let's find out if that is something you can accomplish. Second up is Nicholas. Actually, never mind. I'm being a big dumb doofus. Talk about your instincts.
They're the same, so there's not much changed.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's still only the belief that changed. If I see Xiao getting into trouble, drop what I'm doing and go to his side. If I see someone attractive, flirt. And just to point it out, he is starting to find Evelyn attractive.
Wonderful.
If surprised, draw weapon.
Super duper. And what are your traits?
Ow. Second. Tea is hot. Base humility is a character trait, and spooky. I'm spooky.
Cool.
Die traits, I have mark of privilege. I have 1 de-affiliation with knobs, which is also going with the rich is actually a very good idea for him.
Mm-hmm.
That it might be why he's been good with rich ladies.
Yeah.
Gifted. Obscure aura. It gives a double optical in finding out what the hell he is about. And cool-headed, and that reduces hesitation from surprise and fear.
Cool. All right.
The only relationships he has so far is Harriet Joy, the baby mama, and Dr. Benjamin Koska, who is an enemy circle.
Yes, the person you called on to stitch up Nikki after your unfortunate run-in with another doctor.
I should start bothering him up so he can teach me how to save people.
I will leave that entirely in your very capable hands. I look forward to seeing
first
that.
He needs Noogie.
So cool. So that's all for Minomia. Let's talk about Nicholas. What do you have for beliefs?
Okay, the fire at the warehouse must have attracted a lot of attention. I will seek to cover my tracks from the Ruby Razor Company by framing Dr. Kuroba, who is, of course, an enemy relationship that I have from several sessions ago. Belief 2, Jihao needs to stop drawing attention to me and my people. I will try and find evidence of a magical relic or supplies for him to find to appease him. And thirdly, I've just changed this one as well, since the last one I wasn't acting on. The money that I've earned from the Lylan cloth theft will further my goals with fairy dust. I will need to use it to negotiate with my suppliers for the recipe.
Cool. So that's awesome. Let's talk about your second and third belief for just a brief moment. So your second belief, I heard the word try in there. Is that what you intend to do? Is that how you fulfill that belief? Is that by trying to find something? Or do you intend to find something?
For goodness sake.
Right. What satisfies Nikki?
That's a good point.
But 6.
No.
Hashtag.
Yeah, I think because it's only finding evidence of a magical relic, we can remove the try. Although I admit when you mentioned that, I was thinking, oh, he's pulling his Yoda on me.
Try not, do or fail. There is only mold breaker.
Yes, to anyone listening, Daniel is perhaps the most hardcore Star Wars fan I know of. So there we go. Okay, so I will find evidence of magical relic or supplies to find to appease him. Okay, and the third belief.
Yeah, your third belief was about negotiating with your suppliers about getting more stuff.
Yes,
which I'm a big fan of. So let's. I want to ask you if you want to chase this belief like soon or like in this session, because it would necessitate like that the characters travel, and we can cut past that, but we could also like be invested in it. It depends kind of on what you want from that belief.
I don't want to do it.
I have a very good question for you, Christopher.
Yeah.
You say you want the recipe, but do you actually have anyone who can make it?
We have you.
Yeah, let's say we have you now, and besides,
I actually don't need to do anything. If he gets a recipe, I will be invaluable. I'm the only fucking one who can make his stuff.
Hey! Exactly. All the more reason for you to get that alchemy kit.
Yeah!
So yeah, Nikki's plan has always been to acquire the recipe first, then acquire a person with the means to use the recipe to actually make the damn stuff.
Yeah.
You do realize, of course, if he gets that alchemical kit, he'll be able to see what's in the stuff that's been tainted and the stuff that isn't.
Yes.
Meaning he'll get the recipe that way.
I mean, you might have a chance to do that. That depends entirely on whether or not you succeed. the effect of the alchemical kit is that the obstacle for doing that doesn't double.
But it's okay, it's okay. I finally, after 3 years of looking, found the recipe. Why didn't you just tell me? I didn't know you were looking for that.
No.
But then again, he did forget he knew how to do alchemy.
Alchemy is a little understood magic science, so it's perfectly reasonable that this is a thing that would come up.
Anyway, I just like the idea that he's trying to find a way to make him invaluable if he knows how to do stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's return to the question at hand for you, Christopher. Is what did you want from this belief in terms of like how we see it play out?
I don't want to play it out this session, but within the next couple of sessions. So I think once we've done I want to pursue the first belief as priority.
Yeah, that's kind of where the urgency is at.
And then afterwards, I'm going to then push for the third belief to be acted upon in terms of us going out and doing things, meeting up with my suppliers.
Cool. Yeah, so I let's talk about that when we have some time for it. But I'm definitely up for that. Let's hear it for your instincts.
Never offer mercy to an enemy. Everyone's out to get me, so trust no one. And always carry a sharp knife. These have changed very little since they haven't changed. These have barely changed since the first few sessions. That's not a problem. I hope, anyway.
No, it's not. Let's hear it for your traits.
Character traits: paranoid, odd, nihilistic, and callous. And die trait: Louis Wu, may laugh in the face of danger. So when confronted with a life-threatening, indeed fatal situation, my automatic instinct as a character is to laugh like a maniac.
Wonderful. So yeah, you replace standing and drooling in your hesitation options with belly laughing.
Yes. I can scare people and do like a Joker laugh or something.
Yeah, and essentially like annoy the fuck out of everyone in your social circle.
Yes.
Yep.
Every time you're surprised, your knee-jerk reaction is to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Big fan. And next up, last but certainly not least, Shihao. Let's hear about your bits.
You didn't want to go through Nikki's relationships?
Yes, let's actually do that.
No, let's not do that. Let's just ignore that completely. Romantic relationship with Evelyn Script, my second in command, although that seems to be being challenged.
He hasn't done anything about it yet.
No, but things will happen, does. And as mentioned previously, relationships, enemy circles, Dr. Kuroba. And then some numbers next to which I can't remember what the significance of the numbers is, but we can figure that out later.
Daniel probably can.
In case you make a friend out of your enemy, how long until they stop being a circle and become a relationship?
Okay.
So yeah, that's a measure of that. Never mind that. It's not relevant yet. But.
No, it's not. Okay, so yes, he is my enemy currently, and he's also who I therefore plan to try and frame the events at the warehouse on.
That's smart. You should always frame people.
Delightful.
Yeah. Minnow will be completely happy about you framing someone else for it. That's smart. You're smart, Cookie.
I don't frame people. I frame scenes. Hashtag GM sunglasses.
Well, I'm going to need your both of your characters' helps in getting this sorted. So
sure. Once I'm done with the lady. Or ladies. Depending on how it goes.
Shall we move on to Jihaoji now?
I feel like we should. So let's hear it for Jihaoji's instincts and beliefs and traits and stuff.
All of them?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. I've changed a few of them about, and I'm stalling for time because I'm currently turning my chicken so it doesn't get burned.
Burning wheel.
Okay.
Burning wheel special session. Burning the chicken. Hashtag food. Also, a lot of hashtags going on.
What you need is you actually need to get.
What's with the hashtag?
I don't know.
You should get it.
You started me off with when you said butt sex, and then my mind went to hashtags.
Alright, I'm ready.
Saying, Chris?
Alright.
If you get an actual, is it just turning the chicken on the pan, or you've actually got a proper rotisserie?
Yes, I've got a proper rotisserie in this rented Airbnb apartment that I've never been in before.
I knew it. It's wonderful. But no, you should get a rotisserie. Be great.
I'll make sure to leave that in my review of the apartment.
You should write a belief about that.
Yes. Alright. It is my right to become a powerful sorcerer, unlike anything the world has ever seen. Fame is one form of power, therefore I will establish a cult around my person in order to grant myself first stepping stone into national fame. I will spread panic in this city among the citizens, and everyone shall know and fear my name.
Cool.
Now, this one hasn't actually changed, but the way he's going about it has. Because before he wanted to be very overt and be like, ha 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 ha, I have arrived in your town, mwah. And now not so much, because he was asked not to and he lost that door.
Cool. So you're changing your MO a bit.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure he's very easily been able to rationalize it with, well, if people don't know who I am, they'll start to wonder. Or something like that.
I see. Big plans. What's your second belief?
Yes, I have changed that up. So now it is, while my magical might is enough to destroy any mortal foe, I might find myself in need of more mundane fighting skills. To that end, I will better my skills with the spear by convincing Evelyn to do regular sparring with me.
Cool.
I might be very sick. What did he just say?
He will convince Evelyn to do regular sparring with him.
I am very sick. Could you repeat that? Something's wrong.
I don't know.
He needs medicine.
No.
I look forward to seeing this. This is obviously not something your brother expected.
No.
Well, fuck my brother then.
I mean,
Please,
that
no,
is an
that's
entirely
called
different
incest.
situation. I think you can get a trait for that, but
Ew.
No, I mean, he's sparring with Evelyn. It might come up, hey, Evelyn, fuck my brother then.
I don't think you're the one who's supposed to say stuff like that. He'll never get a chance then.
rocking that.
Yes, I planned it.
Rocking that solid no seduction skill.
And fear aura.
Yep.
It'll come off as a threat.
So,
Fuck my brother. Anyhow.
Yep.
The last belief is, the knowledge of old holds power untold. I wish to find and learn a new spell, and Mr. Smolak has resources beyond what I do. We have made a deal that you'll help me find magical knowledge, and I will make sure he keeps up his end of the deal. And using his help, I will find the knowledge hidden in Manning Bridge.
Excellent. So you will find magic in Manning Bridge, and to do so, you will employ your recently acquired magic sniffer dog, the guy with the organization local to the area.
Yes.
Dig it. Cool. Let's hear about your instincts.
Why, of course. They haven't really changed. If weird shit happens, check if streaming, pinch self, look at hands, try to read stuff. Respond to threats with intimidation. And the one I'm still considering changing, but I have no clue what to change it into, ask Minimir for advice when you need it.
Just because you haven't had the urge to ask him anything, you can just find an urge for him to ask him.
I'm considering changing it to reflect Shihaoji being less sure he can rely on his brother.
What?
Because they clearly had different goals. Like, you should stay hidden. But I don't wanna!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe there is some space opening between you that needs some brotherly investigating.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a trade for that.
Delving deep. Let's talk about the traits.
Let's do a deep exploration.
Ew.
Traits I have: base humility, spooky, obsessed, catamite, mark of privilege, aura of fear, and gifted. And for relationships, I have Dr. Benjamin Koska and a 1 in parentheses.
Cool. So that's awesome. So this is our characters. What about your relationships?
You mean the ones I just covered?
Yeah, the ones you just covered. You recently had a run-in with a representation of one of your relationships.
Oh, that relationship that I haven't written down there. Yes. I guess I also have a relationship with Daddy.
That is true.
He has daddy issues.
It was in fact my biological daddy and not someone I had sex with.
Yeah, you have a relationship with your daddy, and we're not talking about Nicholas.
I did not have sex with Nicholas. I don't know where you're getting that from.
No, but he does provide for you, and for your teacher.
Oh, so you're saying he provides for all my needs?
I will leave.
No.
I will leave that to you. Right? This sounds like the subject of a social skill. So what's up is you have a relationship to your dad and your teacher, and you
yes,
have like
and I have recently become much more in awe with my teacher. I don't know what the correct expression for that would be.
I guess in awe is fine.
Because, well, it's actually because of an out-of-character realization, but it's definitely something I would have realized as well.
Yeah, so he's a very old man and not dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
you're not dead. I know.
Your relationship with your father is that it's extremely unfriendly, but you hold it to be outright rivalry, right? Or hostility. You believe him to want to kill you.
Yes, I do.
Cool.
Lol.
All right, so cool. So let's get into the game. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about what we want to see this game. Where do we want the story to go? Right? We've mentioned the beliefs, and the beliefs gives us a good idea of like what direction we're aiming for. But what do you guys like feel like what are we doing in this session now that we are past the heist? Is there a specific direction we kind of want to lean in, or do we just kind of want to mill about chasing our beliefs individually?
I think it'd be good to have a session to follow individual beliefs, because we've been focusing on a single plot quite strongly, I think, the last couple of sessions.
No, I'm okay with that.
My opinion.
Agreement.
Cool. So don't be afraid of involving each other in your respective beliefs either. But it's okay if you want to just go about and lone a bit for a while.
I'm not gonna invite them to the lady friend.
That's fine. I am not.
Oh, go on. You know I love company, darling.
Then we can invite Evelyn.
That's that odd trait coming to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I want to watch.
Voyeurism is
Now that's a regular fetish, not an odd trait.
I mean, I guess that would depend on the viewpoint of the world at large, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is odd. It is odd to polite company of this narrow-minded world.
Yes, it has proven very narrow-minded.
So let's get into the game. Let's join you guys, and when we join you, it is, let's say, 2 days later. And I feel like a lot of the time when we have been joining you, we've been kind of joining you in the morning with in the main room of the house space that you use as a headquarters, Nikki. We've normally been joining you like over breakfast, or like doing something about like just finishing off breakfast, right? And For the last couple of times, it's been very sparse, and I think as we come into the game this time, we do it the same way, so it's kind of the same shot that we've seen a couple of times over. But there's a difference in that where before you were eating pretty pathetic and sparsely. Like we're talking like not particularly tasty bread and root soups or something like that. When we come in this time, we actually see you eating a proper meal. So, and I'm not gonna charge you for this one. This is like part of the recent acquisition of cash that you've gotten. So why don't you guys describe to me, like, I guess mostly Nikki, but everyone feel free to describe if you want to, like, describe the scene where we see you guys for the first time in a less pathetic situation.
Well, Nicky, for his part, is very much savouring what he's eating, because again, having spent so long sort of with food being fairly thin, having a chance to eat a bit more heartily, he's taking as much out of it as he can.
Yeah. What do we find him eating?
Oh goodness me! That requires a knowledge of healthy medieval cuisine that I am not acquainted with.
Okay, I mean, there's no pressure on that, right? If you don't know, then you don't know. It's just if something immediately sprung to mind for you, then that would probably be the answer.
As you mentioned, well, better quality bread is the first thing I can think of.
Not stale.
Yes, basically.
Fresh bread instead of dead bread.
So So there is like the smell of freshly baked bread as like a part of the scene.
Yeah, there'll probably be some meat involved somewhere for the first time in ages.
Sausages?
But only a little bit. Yeah, just there's some sausages. Not the best sausages, but not made of they're not made of horses' assholes or anything.
Sauteed raccoons' assholes on a stick. Rest in peace, George Carlin.
No.
Oh, George.
So,
okay. So that basically we're actually eating something vaguely resembling a balanced diet by medieval standards.
Yeah, cool. Big fan. How about does this hold true for the rest of you? Like, imagine that you have like the option this time of showcasing the type of meal your character would prefer to eat rather than what they have been forced to eat. So what do we see when we look at Shihao and Minnow?
This is probably better than we've eaten in a very long time.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that he's probably slightly fascinated. This is not berries. This is weird.
I think for Shihao, he's probably a bit of a habitual person, so he has some sort of porridge, possibly with more, additions to it than normal.
Did we see some raisins in it or something?
Something like that. And I think he's currently staring into thin air, mouth slightly open and spoon in hand, but he's kind of stopped in the middle of that motion.
Cool, big fan.
Why?
Why is
Why
that?
is he stopped in that?
Is there a particular reason? Yeah, okay, so actually I have a comment for that to build on that. So we see you guys like sitting around this table eating as Chris mentioned, like as Chris correctly put it, a semi-medieval, healthy, balanced diet, air quotes, question marks. And like we see you like you're stuffing your faces. You're not alone there, right? Some of the people working for you are there. The people who did like the night shift up eating breakfast before exchanging the watch with some of the other guys. And like we see like probably like an earthenware jug of cold milk being passed around, getting poured into cups. And then as this is happening, right, we look at Shihao. We see him like he's looking into nowhere. Everyone kind of has a good time, and then we see like we see a different shot from the door of like the door slowly creaking up, and none of you noticing because everyone is in good spirits. And Shihao is just sitting there like looking absent-mindedly out of nowhere back to the door, and then suddenly like out of nowhere, as we get a side close up of Shihao, we see like a chain snap down in front of his face, wrap around his throat, and like him being pulled out of his chair. He like falls backwards onto the floor, like spilling milk, and like the porridge falls onto the table. We see you guys probably like shove, like just stand up in shocked surprise. And and a person is standing like has wrestled you to the ground and has planted like a foot in the small of your back and has like a chain wrapped around your throat and pulling back hard, and you can't breathe. What do you do?
Well, first
that was just rude.
I'm asking. I'm gonna stick with Shihao on this one. What does Shihao do, finding himself suddenly thrown to the ground by some unseen assailant? And now being choked by a chain around your neck.
Leo?
Well, that... yeah, I'm assuming this is kind of done in a way that it's hard to resist. It sounded like it.
It's
definitely
pretty rough stuff, but yeah, you can struggle. What do you do?
Well, Danny could be evil and say steel check, because this is out of the fucking nowhere.
I could. I'm not gonna right now. I'm electing not to.
Yeah, I'm... The question is how clear-minded he would be.
I don't know. How do you imagine Shihao reacting to the shock of like suddenly being assaulted?
I think at first he will claw at the chain around his throat.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he will not calm down, but he'll be out of the surprise, and he'll instead try to shake the person off him, because he's not gonna get the chain off.
Yeah, so we
unless
see
he
like tossing.
Yes.
Yeah, so like you're struggling with the chain, and as you heave, like you have a rasping, like wheezing breath, is like it's shutting off your windpipe, but you manage like to get a good lungful of air, and you start tussling and like trying to throw the guy off, and you manage to like unbalance the guy, and his foot comes like out of the small of your back as he readjusts to regain balance, and for a moment you can like sort of turn from your lying position. He crosses the chain across your throat, so you're not quite free of it, but you turn around and you look up, and you're staring into the face of your father, sneering at you as he's tightening the chain around your throat, and everywhere around you, like the periphery of your vision turns black, and you can't see the others moving. And then he leans in closer, steely eyes looking into yours, and he says, "You're a disappointment, boy. You were always a disappointment. And I mean to rectify the mistake of your birth." And then you feel like the chain tightening, and there's a loud snap from your neck, and you're sitting around the table, and everyone's having breakfast.
Yeah. I think he kind of...
That means Minnow doesn't have to suck his father squarely in the face.
I think Shihao kind of drops the spoon into the porridge and starts slowly looking around. And then he holds his hand up in front of his face. And for a very, very long time, he just stares at his fingers, kind of doing weird motions with them.
So this is, of course, obvious to anyone who wants it to be obvious to their character around the table.
Well, Minnow sitting right beside him probably saw the pause and just like, what the hell is he doing? And then he drops the spoon and looks at his hand. So, elbow him son, like, gently in the side. You alright?
He doesn't really react. He's focused on his hand.
Minnow waves his hand in front of his face. You in there?
He looks at you. He goes, "Pinch me."
Minnow's kinda worried face goes, what the fuck, Ish? Has he ever asked him to do so before?
I don't think so, no.
Then he shrugs and pinches his cheek.
That seems to have the desired effect. He focuses more. And shakes his head and says, sorry. I was just zoning out.
You sure you're alright?
Yeah, why?
It's just not like you.
Well...
And this is one of the tender moments where everyone sees that Minnow is actually worried.
Suddenly brother instead of being like the same actor against the green screen.
Yep.
And I think Xiao makes like a dismissive motion with his hand. No. Don't worry about me. I am the finest of fine.
And that instantly just makes both Minnow's nice eyebrows fly up in his hairline with a, yeah, right you are. Now I know you're not. Thank you for confirming. But he doesn't touch it further, just starts eating again, if you say so.
I think actually Xiao gets up and leaves. Goes to his room.
Cool. Yeah, so you stand up, you leave, you go to your room, and as you leave, we see like your teacher reach like old man hangy face, like reaching over the table and like grabbing your bowl of porridge and just pulling it over and starts digging in.
Bitch.
Minnow looks at him like, sure you did that. Doesn't say anything, it's just apparent. Then looks after brother, then at mentor, then shrugs and gets up like, yeah, if you're not gonna do it, I am. And then he follows him into the room.
Cool. So the twins leave the table. As they do so, we see Nicholas, and like the camera like just pans sideways, revealing Evelyn just next to you, with a mouthful of potatoes and sausages, looking at you, being like, "What's wrong with them?"
Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. I look back equally with like, just with like, I don't know, stuff dribbling down my chin. Like going, I don't know.
Funnily enough, he doesn't make it as cute.
No, because I'm not, no.
Distinctly less sexy.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could have be something about her being more competent in a battle than he is.
And so you say you confirm that you don't know, and that's the beginning and the end of how many fucks she can give as she just digs back into her breakfast.
Yeah, let's say.
So do you want to do something, Nikki, or do we follow the twins into the adjoining room?
No, I'm going to wait until they've resolved their family issues before I start laying down what I want to do with them.
Cool.
Don't lay anything down on what you want to do with us.
So we
Yes.
get
That
like
just sounds nasty.
I want to bend you both over backwards and do things unspeakable to you.
So we
If
see,
Evelyn's
like,
included, fine.
we see one of the adjoining rooms. We're looking at the door as the door like opens up, and Shihao comes in shortly, followed by Minnow.
Yeah.
There's probably no lighting in here aside from like there's like a slow burning lantern, but there's no windows.
That's the perfect place to sleep. Less morning sun to annoy you.
Yeah, maybe do you sleep in here? Is this like where you have a hammock strung between like a support beam and the wall or something?
Well, I did say I wanted to go to my room, so I guess.
Sure.
I don't know how many rooms this place got, but we probably share it with some others too.
What kind of property is this, Chris?
How do you mean?
When you paid for this property that you've been using as your headquarters, what did you pay for?
Oh God.
It's in your character burner on your character sheet.
Yes, I did. Give me a second. I am looking.
Who is looking?
Character burner. Small cottage.
Okay, so this is essentially like it has one main room and then 2 extra rooms and nothing else.
Pretty much.
One of
So
the
yeah, we
one
would
of the
definitely
room,
share a room with others.
for the in the start of the game, one of the rooms was playing host to a corpse, and the other room is probably where people go to chill and to sleep. And then there's probably also like hammock strung in the main room.
Yeah,
For like the people
the body
keeping
that
guard.
the corpse that is in there, because it's now so far gone that we're not going to get any use out of it. We've probably disposed of it in the interim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe like at some point in the sessions before this, we retconned that there was like a flashback to you guys putting the body in a ditch or something.
Though without a hit because Minnow wanted the skull.
Very well. I will definitely ask you about that skull then once we're done with this scene. So let's you guys take it away then.
Take it away, Ernie.
You enter the room. You're alone. Like you can still hear the noises of people stuffing their faces just in the other room. What do you do?
I think as he gets in there, Shihao takes a deep breath. He starts doing the practice motions, warm up for when he's spell slinging.
Okay.
Keep those fingers tight, I guess.
That's great. Describe to us what a spellcasting warm up looks like.
It's just it's a long series of different motions. And, he has to be quite precise when he's drawing Eldritch Sigils in the air.
Yeah.
So it's he starts, with a warm-up exercise just to flex his fingers and make sure his arms are warmed up. And then he starts drawing different symbols in the air. They don't necessarily combine into any form of magic because don't want to cast lightning storm in here.
You're practicing the motion.
Yes, I'm just practicing the motions, and as he does that, he tries doing it faster and faster and faster.
Cool. Yeah. So
and if
eventually
he
you're
messes
slipping
up,
right?
yeah, and if he messes up, he starts again from the slowest and then goes faster and faster.
So while he's doing this, you tailed your brother in here. What's your reaction? What do you do and say?
He just closes the door behind them and sits down and looks up at him. So you're not alright. What happened?
Didn't you see? Nothing happened.
I've known you long enough to know that's not true. Your zoning out periods are getting longer. And there must be a reason.
He looks thoughtful for quite a while. And then he sighs.
Does Minnow think he's zoning out again?
No.
Okay.
I think there's a difference in looking into nothing and looking like you're trying to gather your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just curious. Go on.
That could be fun.
Pinching his cheek while he's trying to figure out what to say. Go on.
I have been, for a long time, followed by visions. In fact, ever since I opened my mind to the possibilities of magic, and that is referring to the event that made him get banished.
Yep.
Cool. So when I think like there's just like a 1 second flash of like a building in a completely different architectural style at night in a different city, when you say that, the event, and then we see the whispering stone, and then it's a white flashback again.
Mm-hmm. Ever since then, I've been getting visions. Some of them are quite clear, most of them are not.
So
it usually seems to happen when my mind is unoccupied.
Oh. So basically all the big or longer periods of time on the road where you've been seeming like you're looking to nothing, it's actually visions that were happening.
Well, sometimes I've just been daydreaming or thinking, but mostly, yeah. It doesn't matter. You don't need to concern yourself with it.
Minnow just looks at him with a, yeah, I'm concerning myself with them.
This is not your decision, boy.
You can tell me that I shouldn't worry, but that's the same thing as seeing someone with a broken arm saying, it's fine! So they've been happening for a long time. You know what they mean?
Well, as I said, most of them are quite confusing. Though I'm quite sure what the one I just had means.
No. That's confusing.
Much less.
Why would the vision change, though? If they've been in direct so long.
It's always something different. It's kind of like dreaming while you're awake, so it can take a while for me to register that I'm actually having a vision.
That's why you've been making weird stuff.
He shrugs.
Well, it explains a lot that you haven't been wanting to explain earlier.
He looks impatient. In any case, Minnow, I suspect my visions are hinting at the fact that we will probably have an altercation with Father at some point in the future. Probably soon.
We did just kill some of his finest warriors, so yeah. Anything else would be very weird not to happen.
What do you propose we do?
That really depends on how it's gonna fold out, doesn't it?
Well, in a hostile fashion, I imagine.
Yeah, well, you'll have one worry less, because I already chose you over him. Minnow gets up. So whatever may come.
That definitely extracts a genuine smile from Shihao, and that's not a common thing.
It's almost sad the others doesn't see it though.
Yeah.
Is it like a warm and pleasant smile, or is it like emotion that just it looks creepily like unaccustomed to his face?
I think it is warm and genuine.
Okay.
But it is also somewhat clear that it's not something he does usually.
All right, so
it doesn't look uncomfortable, but it looks like it's not something he's done in a while.
It's a pleasant moment. It's not. There's not a dead puppy counter in the corner of the screen.
I can imagine where Minnow has crow's feet because he has easier time actually smiling genuinely. Jihao has those lines between his brows because he frowns mostly. So when he suddenly smiles, his face has to make wrinkles that's not normally there.
Yep.
Cool.
Minnow.
Mm-hmm.
When the time comes, I fully intend to get rid of him.
I'm not surprised.
You could, if you wanted to, probably take over for him. As I understand it, it's only me the tribe dislikes.
Minnow looks like he has a very snappy comeback. Then he thinks better of it, and then just goes, I left them for a reason.
Ah, so you dislike them?
No, it was more what they stand for now than what they did back then. They've changed, and not for the better.
I guess that's true.
I have no desire to go back to the tribe. And it won't be happening.
And you get another rare smile. And then he immediately turns back to the frown and says, I don't have to tell you, of course, that it would be unwise to share that I have visions with the others. They already seem to be spooked.
I would just love to be able to say that at this point around the door pokes, Nikki says, "Hey, what's this about visions?" But no, that doesn't happen.
Dude, you tell me, like, you can do that if
No.
Okay.
I should have. I
He's
would.
eating.
If I wanted to, I would have declared. And yeah, it's not Nicky's character. He's not fussed by the magic stuff. So as long as they're able to handle it, that's fine. But no,
Cool.
besides, it adds for potential drama later, and we like that.
That's okay with me. Just wanted to make sure that you knew you had the choice.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
There's no need to tell me. We're not exactly in his best graces to begin with. Adding visions to it would just freak him out even further.
This Xiao actually looks a little surprised. Are you certain? We just had a huge success.
Sure, but I don't think he wanted to burn down half the city too. I'm not saying it's your fault. It's your magic. You can't really control it that way, but still. I don't think that was the intention. But he were the one saying go ahead, so...
And Xiao nods emphatically, like, yeah, he told me to.
Exactly. I heard it. I think half the city heard it, but still. It's not easy, is it? Anyway, speaking of magic, what is it you're trying to do?
What do you mean?
Well, since we were very little, we've always kind of known what the other wanted. Just without asking. But after we've gotten specifically to here, I'm finding I have no idea what you're actually trying to go to.
So what... I have a good explanation for that. I'm simply not as simple-minded as you are in my interests. And he smiles.
Then the only thing he gets back is a stone face. So, what is it you're trying to do?
I am merely trying to... Well... We are in a situation of great change. People are milling down from the Stormlands, and we are possibly getting invaded. It's a great time to seize opportunity. And, well, why not do it? I could become one of the greatest mages this nation has ever seen.
So you want to be known?
Known and powerful.
So you want to be known because you're already powerful, so...
Well, I am powerful in some ways. There's more to power than simply slinging a spell. I have no political power, for example.
Minnow looks like he's trying his darndest not to laugh.
There's some very pleasantly formulated mage shade being thrown in this conversation.
Oh?
Go on.
So... You want to be all known and powerful. That is why you've been acting out?
Children act out.
Yeah, you've been acting out.
See?
It seems like it's actually first now you're trying to think about how you're gonna do this in a, real way.
I'm sorry you see it that way, Minnow.
Well, showing off on the street will make you known, sure, but that won't give you any political power. It will make you into a street magician.
I think that depends entirely on what I do.
Do you believe
I have
that,
made
Minnow?
the people...
What?
Do you believe that, Minnow?
Believe what?
What he's saying?
On how he's doing things?
Yeah, right. You made the claim, like, doing it this way is you acting out, right? You're not... This isn't a plan. This is just like you turning, like, you're performing magic tricks in public. Is not what you're describing. And when he says it's about what, like, the way I'm doing it, right? Do you believe that?
Probably. He's never tried to be known. He just already is. He can't tell how that happened.
Cool.
And that is kind of why he's laughing. He already has a reputation. He doesn't want it.
Yeah. So you were about to say.
He doesn't
Rasmus?
say it though, because well, Xiaoji already knows that. So
It's
you want to be known, and you think political power and was it being feared?
well, as I was about to say, there's no doubt that the swiftest way to seize power is through force. It might not be the most durable power grab, however, so I would definitely have to work out something after I've taken power.
Maybe working
He
on
looks
it.
thoughtful.
I actually didn't know you wanted to be known in that way.
In what way?
You want to be all powerful and mighty and known and feared. I had no idea.
Well, the fear thing is usually just a side effect of my methods.
Well, in your case, it would actually be the easiest way to get known because it's already on your side.
Yeah, and why not use
Minnow
the
looks
advantage
slightly
you have?
surprised. Well, I should ask you earlier.
Yes, you probably should.
Oh, you could have said something earlier.
Well, as you mentioned,
No, I'm not gonna do this because, dear brother, I want to be known. Instead of making me think you're actually just acting out like a child. He
well,
smiles.
as you mentioned earlier, Minnow, I'm quite used to you just knowing what I want to do.
Yeah. Truth. But now I know. Now I know.
So I'm making an
Please.
observation about this conversation, and I want to know if this affects Minnow in any way. This conversation and like the way it's playing out, it's been entirely about what Shihao wants. Is this like a thing for you? Like that you're used to him not being concerned with what you want, and you're kind of just like living your life in acceptance of like Shihao wants something, and I'll just be around to make sure he doesn't get in trouble? Or is this a thing that you're sad about? Or is this, like, how do you feel about that situation? Is that a thing you're
Xiaoji
used
will probably know later.
to? Okay, cool. So this is a thing we might see come up. I mean, I was interested in that.
So far it just looks like he's milling over what he just heard.
Cool.
And lets Xiaoji do his finger practices. If that's what he goes back to.
Yeah.
But he obviously looks thoughtful about it.
Is this something you intend to, that you want to like continue elaborating on in this conversation, or is this for a later conversation?
This is for a later conversation.
Okay. Do you have any like finishing comments? Do you want to like round off the conversation before we head to a break?
I have one.
Yeah, let's go.
I think before he goes back to his finger practice, this time, it seems like his mood has lifted. He asks Minnow, would you like for me to share with you some of my clearer visions when they appear?
Sure, if it can help you. Maybe we can find out what they're actually about together.
Yes, I've just remembered that when you're not busy chasing tail, you're actually quite intelligent.
Okay, now
And
I
he
have
smiles.
a closing. Now he has a closing thought. He's completely aware. Xiaoju knows that Minnow is completely aware of this, so he just smiles crookedly. Speaking of tail, I have a date today. See you later. He gets up and leaves the room.
I have a date today. Now to go tell her that I have a date today.
Yeah.
Oh god, you're like I get like Vietnam flashbacks, but of Disney's Gaston.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Just less cheesy. It's just the when you're not chasing tail, you're actually very intelligent. And to that, the only thing Minnow does is grin very widely with a "I know."
I don't know
Speaking
if
of
you
which-
heard that I added, but Shihaji was definitely saying it in a teasing manner.
But Menno is completely aware.
So
It's
we,
a thing that he's probably tried teasing him with earlier, but it didn't work because he's completely self-aware about it.
You're too self-deprecating to be easy to target with that sort of remark.
Yeah, he knows.
Cool.
And his only thought is, well, they're probably kind of annoyed that he has that kind of an ease of getting tail, and that is why they comment.
Okay, cool. So we see like this is like where the conversation fades out and we get a commercial break in the fictional TV series of this Burning Wheel campaign. So you, dear viewing audience, will be grabbing a break now, and we'll be right back with more Burning Wheel. See you then.